Fantasy Football Podcast. Out of the darkness we come. My apologies for a little bit of a delay. I fought YouTube, and YouTube beat me down. I'm Brian the Commish, joined here in the BARFF Fantasy Podcast studio by the most well-traveled owner in BARFF Fantasy Football. Walt is here.
Hey, it's great being here.
All right, we're going to take a look at all things fantasy football through the lens of our league, BARFF. We had some interesting games. Walt, where do you want to start for week 6?
Yeah, let's start with my game.
All right, this is the Soaring Eagles taking on Born to Run. Born to Run falls 99.6 to 90.95 to the Soaring Eagles. Soaring Eagles improved to 3-3. Born to Run falls to 2-4. Walt, tell me the story of this game.
Yeah, it was just a tough week. You know, I had losing Ibuka, going out with a hamstring. That doesn't help. You know, that's one of my better guys that I got.
Yeah.
And then, you know, my big free agent pickup, Haskins, he goes 3.3. He had like 3 carries, and then he never saw the field again, so that was awesome.
Yeah.
And, you know, Stafford underperformed against what I thought was an awesome matchup.
It makes no sense.
It didn't. But, you know, Jordan, too, you know, he had some disappointments. Gibbs didn't do much. A-Chain, you know, was awesome.
Yeah.
Metcalf was pretty good. You know, it was just a squeaker, one of those, really tough losses, but it is what it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. Both teams going under 100. But, you know, you got 8.7 points from Barkley. We live in a world right now, a fantasy football landscape where Rico Dowdle is outperforming Saquon Barkley in consecutive weeks by a lot.
Yeah.
And the Atlanta Falcons can beat the Buffalo Bills in prime time. I can't predict anything.
Yeah, it's upside down. I just saw a list of 5 best, rated teams in the NFL. It was like the Buccaneers, the Colts, the Steelers, the Patriots. Right? I'm like, what is going on here?
It's crazy. And if you had said that Buffalo would have had 2 consecutive losses to New England and to Atlanta, no one would have believed you. There's no way. But that's the landscape that we've got now. And so this is a sub 100 squeak out for both teams. Where do you want to go next?
Let's talk about, there was a couple of 1-4 teams, the Beans and worst team ever. You know, I said whoever lost, I was pretty much counting out of the playoffs. It's tough because it was a high-scoring week for both teams.
It was. This was the class game, the game that both teams fought it out. 149.55 points for the Beans, taking out worst team ever, who put up 134.55 and still fall to 1-5. What happened with hard luck worst team ever this week?
Yeah, I think Drake London had. So Drake, let's take this with a grain of salt. Drake London had an amazing day, and that kind of really shrunk, the point differential. But, 8 out of Montgomery, that was kind of an underperform there. But, 134 points. You can't complain. That was a real solid week. He's finally got his quarterback, Jaden Daniels, who looked good. Yeah. But, on the flip side, the best thing that could have happened to Jamar Chase was Joe Flacco getting traded over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This was also a week where the Beans owes the pod, I think, a little bit of thanks insofar as that we certainly set Jamar Chase and DeAndre Swift up for good weeks.
Yeah.
We gave them some poor reviews last week on the pod, and that seems to be the secret sauce for a player to go off is
just have us criticize them. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Absolutely. No one likes that. So phone lines and chat are open for anyone that wants to join in. This was a big week. Unfortunately, one of these teams had to lose, and it was worst team ever, falling to 1-5.
Yeah, it's rough on a 3-game losing streak on top of it. It
is, but it's not. It's hard to be 1-5 after 6. But we've seen in this league so many things turn, and there are a lot of games left to be played. So no one's out of it. Just worst team ever certainly got some work to do.
Yeah, I think when Tyler looks at his team, I don't think he probably feels he's out of it. The lineup's pretty good, and now he's got Daniels back.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr., he had a nice week, so he starts performing. Still curious why he still hasn't done anything at tight end. and moved on from Mark Andrew.
Yeah, he's got both hands on Mark Andrews, refusing to let him go.
I got to question that one just a little, but yeah.
Then this was a squeaker. We did kind of curse David Montgomery last week. Our apologies to you. It's the worst team ever, for sure. We influenced this game far too much against you, so we owe you. We'll try to criticize the right people this week.
Exactly.
All right, where do you want to go
Let's
next?
talk about your game. It was, we all thought it was going to be a really close game, but
it was not.
You had a couple power outages as well.
Big
in your
power
lineup.
outage. Power outage in Knucklehead land. Huey Lewis in the news moves to a perfect 6-0, taking the 129.8 to 91 victory over the 4-2 Knuckleheads. It just was a tale of two teams where Kamish is leaning a little too hard on some players that he shouldn't and just got betrayed. So what did you see when you were looking at this game?
I mean, I look at Cam Scatterbo.
Scatterbo!
Come on. What is going on?
Scatterbo.
The world is upside down.
Scatterbo's he's just trying to make people forget Saquon Barkley.
It's just so ridiculous. I mean, he had an awesome game. He
puts up scores for his team, does great for his fantasy teams, and then entertains in a post-game interview. We love Cam Scatterbo. I feel as though he may, in fact, be the walking embodiment of CTE, but he is entertaining. He's bringing a lot of energy to that Giants team.
Yeah, there's no question. And then, he had a nice plug-in with Rashid White, but Pittman only had 4 points and Flowers only 8.6. Yeah. That's an absolute killer.
Yeah, and I thought for sure the Browns defense was going to feast on some Pittsburgh Steelers, and they simply did not. Yeah. So a big 0.
Actually, that's true. That was a -1 on that part.
Pittsburgh Steelers, the class of the AFC, they moved now to 4-1, 5
something like that.
And so and they've got a marquee matchup with the Cincinnati Bengals tomorrow night, in which, forgive me if I'm wrong, but starting quarterbacks in that game are going to combine for 84 years on this earth.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's 2012 again. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is playing against Joe Flacco.
I know exactly. It's the league's upside down. I don't even know what to think.
It's crazy.
And and Huey picks up Rico Dow, and he's on the bench. So
I know.
He'd probably been mad if he would have lost. He left almost 35 points on the bench. But
Rico Dowdle, what a story! 2 consecutive weeks post 30 yards, and you got Chuba Hubbard's going to come back. He was a 1250 back yardage wise last year. Scored a bunch of touchdowns. It's a good problem to have, but it's a problem.
Yeah, all of a sudden now, I mean, he had Derrick Henry on the bench. So Huey. When it comes to picking running backs, I think Huey somehow,
he knows.
He's got that minus touch, as I said last week. Yeah,
he does. So Huey Lewis remains a perfect 6-0, having yet another great regular season, and so congrats to them. I didn't score 100 points, so I don't deserve to win anything.
Yeah, right.
That's my stick.
That's the same with me. If you're 100, how can you complain?
Yeah, I can't.
You're not going to win too many games.
Take the L and move on.
That's right.
All right, where do you want to go next?
Let's talk about the freight train that's left the station.
Yes, that has been unleashed.
The one thing I think I did call was the large point total, and I was not wrong on that one.
You did. No lineup needed. Gets the high score of the week, blowing up on the Springfield Rifle, 160.95 to 128.15. The Rifle are in a position where they need a win. They put up a good point total, but boy, no lineup got those. They got those 3 losses out of the way, and here they come.
Yeah.
Tell me about this game.
The whole lineup was no, not the kicker. So everybody else was in double digits,
right,
including the defense. Even the Tongas, he plugged in, had a nice day. Even his bench had a good week.
Absolutely.
Lad McConkey.
Yeah, everybody.
Golden had a good week. So I don't know if Christian could have lost this game, no matter what lineup he put in there. He just had a phenomenal week.
It's crazy.
And then Debo didn't do much. But again, 128 points. It's really, that beats a lot of other teams this week. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, that was a tough loss for a Rifle.
It's tough at the time when they needed it.
Yeah.
Can't complain with how they performed, and you just got to move on to next week.
Yeah.
They're again in a situation where they're not where they wanted to be after 6 weeks, but there's a lot of games left to play.
Yeah.
So, all right, where are we going now?
Well, we might have a story brewing here.
Oh, boy.
the lowest scoring team of the week.
Yeah, and we'll talk
Defending
about
champs.
we'll talk about the repercussions of that after. But right now, let's talk about the game. Sodi Pantloads has a great week, moving to second place at 4-2 with 132.45 to 80.05.
Oof.
Whopper Moppers get smoked. They fall to 4-2. If I had a power outage, they have no light. They don't even have candles in Whopper Moppers land, putting up 80 points.
Right, they had a gerbil and a wheel. That was their only power they were generating.
That's it. What happened to Whopper Moppers this week?
Oh my God, it was well. Okay, so Nakua getting his ankle hurt, and that's something for Tom to I mean, if he loses Nakua for any extended amount of time, I mean, you just don't replace a guy like that.
No.
That's a huge hole. But he just Harrison did nothing, Charbonnet did nothing, even Cook, didn't do. I mean, didn't do a lot.
Well, he went up against that mighty Atlanta defense.
Yeah, and
in prime time.
Buffalo's line was not. It was weird though in the third quarter though. Cook was making, he was like ripping off 5, 6, 7 yards, and
too little, too late.
Too late. And then of course Kyle's got to be loving what he saw to Bijan.
Oh wow!
And especially the way they used him, that was ridiculous.
Talk about rising to the occasion, Bijan Robinson. I mean, he was already a star, but that's a star turn that you take, and he put up 37.8 fantasy points. That makes Kyle very happy.
Yeah, I think this is when I drafted him a year ago. This is what I think everybody's been waiting for.
That's what they wanted to see this player.
Right.
Yep.
Involved.
He can do everything.
Yep. Right.
It's unbelievable. What a great weapon to have.
Yeah. So the only blemish was Garrett Wilson. I know got hurt. I don't know what the extent of his injury, but I know he went out. It's a knee, hyperextended. I see. So yeah, that was only. And then, I don't know what's going on with that Denver and Jet game. There was like.
Two teams trying their best to lose.
Yeah, it was just a horrendous game. So, again, 2-7. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter. He just had a nice week. Drake May continues to exceed my expectations of what he would do.
Yeah, 100%. He's doing so well that he has knocked Bo Nix to the Sodi Pantloads bench.
Wow, who would ever have thought that?
Oh, that's something's going on with Drake May when you get
certainly do
Denver
when you see
quarterback.
That. 100%.
All right, and so that leaves us. That doesn't leave us with anybody.
We
kill everything. So that was. Let's take a look at the standings.
Yeah, let's do that. There's a tale being told here.
There certainly is. So right now in the number one spot, our perfect 6-0 Huey Lewis and the News, followed by 4-2 teams Sodi Pantloads, Whopper Moppers, and the Knuckleheads in that order due to points scored. We've got 2 3-3 teams with no lineup needed in the Soaring Eagles, Boston Beans and Born to Run 2-4, and at the 9 and 10 spots in order, worst team ever in the Springfield Rifle at 1-5. Low playoff percentages, a lot of football left. Tell me, are the standings reflective of performance? Is anyone getting lucky? What's happening with these standings right now?
Like I was mentioned last week, the standings to me, are they kind of paint the reality. Now, the one glaring one that sticks out, Huey once again, has employed a great defense. He's only had 62 points against, but he has a good points for.
Right.
But I guess that's how you get to be 6-0,
that's
right?
How
if
you
have
get to be 6-0.
Differential like that.
Absolutely.
And then you flip it around and you're like looking at like who's taking a beating.
Our bottom two teams.
It pretty much goes in line, right? Yeah. I mean, look at the points against.
Yeah, that's a lot of points against.
Worst team ever. I mean,
I'm not that far behind, and
no, that's same here. Yeah, I'm right there too.
It's tough.
It is, but that's kind of tells the story right there. And again, the points for. I mean, I think I could be the lowest now, which is interesting. But again, you get a week or two. We're early enough where these could all change up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, in the first 6 weeks, if you've had a couple sub 100 games, and you're just kind of lagging behind, you catch up.
But the margin for error, that's the difference now.
Yeah.
Your margin for error goes down a lot.
I 100% agree.
I mean, you're looking, if you're worst team ever in a rifle, what can you lose? 2 more games, maybe?
Right.
And if you lose 3 more, you need a lot of help then.
Yeah, that's
at
hard
some
to
point.
Overcome. That's hard to overcome.
Yeah. So So yeah, they kind of, to me, the standings kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Although, no lineup now. Once again, it's third year in a row, second year in a row at least. 804 points, leading the league in points for.
Mm-hmm. And I see more good things.
Yeah, it's
no lineup has quite the lineup right now.
They do.
So it's
nobody wants to be playing them. That's for sure.
You want to get them early.
Yes,
play them early.
Yes.
If I come up with a schedule next year, I'll take suggestions from people.
Yeah. I'll bribe you to play them like week 1, week 2, or week 3.
All right. While we've got the standings up, we're going to talk about the guillotine side bet. We had 4 remaining teams. The 4 remaining teams were Sody Pantloads, Whopper Moppers, Knuckleheads, and no lineup, as I recall. And this week, I can't believe I'm saying it, but it's very, very clear who gets cut out this way.
Yeah.
Whopper Moppers puts up 80 points and gets chopped. So they are out. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but the 3 remaining in the guillotine side bet: Sody Pantloads, Sody Pantloads, Knuckleheads, and no lineup needed. And then there were 3.
I know.
It's exciting.
Yeah, and it like you said, if you look at the standings, I think it's you got a bunch of high scoring teams, so I think maybe it'll be interesting to see who goes out this week.
Yeah, well, I have another week like I did this week. I thought for sure I was out. I was watching my game.
Yeah,
Huey was beating me from last Thursday night on. I was like, forget it.
You were kind of predicting it, weren't you?
I'm out.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
So as we now move on to next week, one interesting and fairly depressing reality that we need to bring to our owners' attention is that we're going to preview the Week 7 games, and we're going to talk about them next week. And at that point, we're past the midway point of the BARFF season already. It's insane.
How is that even possible?
It's flying by.
I know.
It seems like it's the night before the pod every night. Football is on so much now that I got to say, I hate these 2 Monday night games.
Oh, I can't stand them.
No,
me too.
No,
yeah, no. Especially like this week, you got the Bills in Atlanta, and then you have another game kind of draws attention from really a marquee game. So I did not like it at all.
I think we got another 2 this Monday, and hopefully they'll just get away from that nonsense. I'm really not sure.
I'm not sure why they're doing that to us.
Yeah, it doesn't help either game. I don't know. People want their Thursday and Sunday football. Let's just do it. All right, let's talk about BARFF Week 7 action. So got some people that really need to turn it on right now.
Yep.
Let's talk about it. Which game do you want to hit first?
So we'll just go right down in order. Let's look at me against a rifle, because I think it's a big game for both teams.
It is. We're getting into, as we start to get to where we're making the turn, it's time for some teams to get into must situations. Right now, it's early. It's Wednesday, but Born to Run is projected to win this one 125-120 in the close game. We'll see what happens with lineup moves after we clear waivers tonight, but an awful lot of green check marks on your side of the ball. Walt, what do you think about this game?
I think it's going to be a lot closer. I don't know. I mean, there's tough matchups on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime, although I see Deebo Samuel against Dallas, I never love that. That's for sure. I also, I mean, but other than that, though, the Rifles got some tough matchups. Dobbins against the Giants. I think that's going to be, some tough sledding for him.
Yeah.
Kamara, I guess he's dinged up, but I always worry about the running backs, Jacobs and Kamara, for when I played a rifle.
Yeah.
He always has. Does he always have Kamara?
He's had Kamara
for a long time. Yeah.
But Kamara's dinged though. He is
dinged up too.
Yep. I think Jacobs is sick. I don't think Jacobs practiced today.
That's correct. Yeah.
But he's got plenty of time before his game to get better.
But I got to get a big game out of Barkley. I've been waiting all year to get that, and of course my second pick, Brock Bowers, is absolutely killing me because he's not getting a lineup. Ibuka is not going to be playing either.
Yeah.
So I don't have a ton of options, but I mean, overall, if I can get Terry McLaurin in against the Cowboys, that'll make me feel better about Deebo against the Cowboys.
100%. And we talked about star turns. He was already a solid young player, but Jackson Smith-Njigba out of Seattle had huge plays last week for that team.
Yeah.
They seem to be looking for him. He's their primary weapon. And
Yep.
so, yeah, he could give you 20 points a week now.
Yeah. I mean, so I think it'll be close. I do think I have a slight edge just because of schedule. And, he's got a couple of injuries that
Sure.
he's got to navigate through for the Rifle.
Sure. Rifle, yep, it's in go time for sure, both these teams. Where do you want to go next?
So let's look at, we'll save that for last, obviously, because that'll be our marquee matchup. Let's talk about Soren and worst team ever.
Soren Eagles taking on worst team ever. Right now, the projections have it going 122 to 95, but Soren doesn't even have a quarterback, defense, or a kicker, and so that's not a whole lot you can do with that. Green check marks, as you would expect, on the worst team ever side of the ball because there's some players out for Soren Eagles. What do you think? Does
this
worst
is
team ever rise up here?
Yeah, I think this is my upset special of the week right here because there are quarterbacks available, but when you lose pretty much last year's MVP, one of the best fantasy guys, and Josh Allen, I mean, I don't care who you're picking on waivers,
Right.
That hurts a lot, and then you're kind of streaming a D and a kicker, so you're at the mercy of what's ever left there.
Sure.
And then worst team ever, like we were talking, Jada Daniels against the Cowboys. I
know.
I can see that blowing up.
That's
big time.
That's juicy.
It really is. And Drake London's coming on.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas, if he's coming on, I don't know. Worthy against Vegas. I just like worst team ever's matchups.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this the week that Rashee Rice comes back? Is he due?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
I'd have to look at that. I should have come a little bit better prepared.
Yeah.
I feel like Rashee Rice is going to start to chop up and cut into Xavier Worthy's, what value he has. He hasn't exactly been lighting it up, but if he takes more of a back seat, then he's not really going to be lineup capable. So we'll have to take a look at that. We'll see. We'll see what Soren Eagles does plugging players in. Gibbs against Tampa Bay.
Not loving that either.
Yeah, that's not great.
No.
But that game could devolve into a shootout.
Yeah.
So who knows?
A-Chain against Cleveland. They got them projected 21, but I don't know. Cleveland could be tough sometimes.
They can be. They kind of.
And it's in Cleveland. And it's in Cleveland.
That's a tough thing especially for a Florida team to go up into that environment and thrive, especially with the dysfunction. We keep talking about it, but they keep doing it. In Miami, I don't know what's happening. And Mike McDaniels sold on a lucky star that Brian Callahan is the first coach fired. I mean, what were the expectations in Tennessee? And you got your rookie quarterback, and then you cut his coach after 6 games.
I don't know what was going on there.
Mike McDaniel's walking down the hallway. There's guys getting in fist fights, and gross. I don't know. We'll see. Good. Hopefully things turn around down there in Miami. Who do you want to talk about next?
Well, let's talk about your game against the Beans. Actually, turning out this is kind of an important game now.
This is an important game, and I am not looking.
You're not loving it, right?
Taking on the Beans this week. Right now, they're projected to beat me 123 to 117. The Beans are pulling in at 2-4. They need wins, and there are an awful lot of green check marks on their side of the ball. How do you see this one going?
I got to tell you, it's going to be interesting because I got to imagine Bucky Irvin's still not going to play.
He's not.
Right. So Mayfield against Detroit, that could end up being good for you. I could see that being a slugfest there. Mason, I liked against Philly. Philly's having trouble against the run. But I guess my biggest, is Pittman not going to show up again for you?
He's a roller coaster. He's the Deebo Samuel of Indianapolis.
Right.
1 week he goes 25, the next week he'll give you 3. So it's hard to count on him. But I've got Zay Flowers hasn't really been much more consistent, but he's on a bye, a good timed bye for both Baltimore and Buffalo. Those teams need it, but I don't know. All I can hope is that Danny Dimes throws a couple of long balls to Pittman, and he's supposed to be the top dog in that offense, but Jones is spreading I can't even believe I'm saying this. Yeah, Jones is spreading the ball around so efficiently.
I know
that he's taking some fantasy value away.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to me, it's the Detroit Tampa game is gonna mean a lot because you got a lot riding on there. You got Mayfield, you got White, you got St. Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, and on the flip side, I do like the Beans' matchups. I just have a feeling A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts are going to have a big week this week.
Yeah, well, they've got an opponent that's a little bit of a mess, and if they're going to have a get-right game, this looks like a get-right game.
So slight edge to the Beans.
Yeah, I would say probably more than slight, but I'm glad I got off to a good start this season. The wheels start to slowly go off the bus. All right, where do you want to go?
All right, let's talk about our defending champ and what's going on there.
They talk about needing a get-right game.
Yeah.
Whopper Moppers, third-place team at 4-2, taking on our undefeated, pristine 6-0 record, Huey Lewis in the News. Right now, the Huey Lewis in the News is projected to go up big, 130 to 109. Whopper Moppers had a real big flame out last week, only putting up 80 points. Well, can they score enough this week to take out Huey Lewis in the News?
No.
And the answer is definitive.
No, I don't think so. So he's playing Vidal, the guy I didn't pick.
There was 50-50 chance, and
he took the right 50. Yeah. But is that something you're going to count on? You're hoping lightning strikes twice there.
Right.
So I don't love that. I don't love Nico against Seattle. Seattle's D has been pretty good.
Yep.
Harrison Jr. up and down. I don't know. I'm just not loving the matchups. I don't know if Hubbard's going to play. I think he might be.
I think he's due to come back this week. I just don't know how they're going to divvy up the carries between him and Rico Dowdle. That's a tough decision for a coach.
I mean, if he's not 100%, why would you give him a full load, right?
Yeah. I mean, guys have incentives to hit, and he's, you know, it's interesting. I think on both sides of the ball, these players have the advantage. For Jacoby Myers and Breece Hall, these guys are auditioning for 30 other NFL teams.
Yep.
So I think both of these,
they
both have fairly decent matchups. I think that you'll see both of those players go big, and it's just going to be a matter of who gets the benefit from that. Because trade deadline comes and goes. I would be shocked if I didn't hear the names Jacoby Myers and Breece Hall.
Oh, I got to agree with you.
We'll see.
That would not surprise me. So, yeah, I think Huey, I would be surprised if we see him at 7-0.
7-0.
Would that be something?
Not a surprise, but yeah. Always seems
pretty much a shoe-in for the playoffs.
At that point,
after 7 weeks.
At that point, you can coast.
I wish I had that feeling.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, our marquee matchup.
Oh boy, tell me about who takes this game this week.
So, I honestly think we might be looking. This could be a potential Super Bowl matchup. You never know, depending on how. The seeds go. But this is really, I think, going to be, as advertised, a very close game.
We are talking no lineup needed, taking on Sody Pantloads. Right now, projected totals, dead solid.
I know.
138.
Isn't it? Like I said, I can see it because, Bijan gets the green check over McCaffrey, but that's like razor edge, and they're playing each other, which I think both owners will probably be glued to that game.
Of course.
Drake May against Tennessee, kind of like that matchup. Yep. That's kind of nice. Javonte Williams against Washington, kind of like that matchup. Mm-hmm. Denver against the Giants, I'm just not loving that game at all.
Yep.
Sutton, he's had some power outages, so I don't know about that one. Udunze, good. So good matchups everywhere else. The big one, the wild card, is Judkins for me against Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that easily being the 20s versus 16 they're projected.
Absolutely.
Now flip the other side, and there's a couple of wild cards there too. I mean, Prescott against Washington, I think he'll do what he does. McCaffrey, but I think Genty got a good matchup. But the one I look at and I think is really intriguing is Ladd McConkey. So there's the wild card on the other side there, because I could see him doing better than the 14 projection.
He could. That'll be a really interesting game. The positions that these two teams are in.
Yes.
The Chargers are looking to prove some stuff, and Indianapolis is just don't screw this up. That's what I would be thinking if I was in that locker room. Whatever we're doing, do more.
Right, exactly. So the funny part is, I could come down to McLaughlin on Monday night. The kicker, I would not shock me, along with K-Dot and as well. Would that be something?
What a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, K-Dot and I want to talk about later on in Tampa Bay in general. But, that's a good situation that they've got going on there for sure.
Yeah, this is, and there's that Atlanta Frisco's games, the Sunday night game. So
Yeah,
these owners are in for a long weekend, is my
it'll
opinion.
be tough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna predict a little bit of misery for Sody Pantloads. I think that I will predict that Jerome Ford, who was once a very expensive Ford in this league, gets a goal line carry for a touchdown, taking it away from Quinshon Judkins because they're going to try to boost his trade deadline value a little bit. Jerome Ford is a viable option, and I think it is in Cleveland's best interest to see if they can get a little more out of him. Well, he just scored a touchdown,
Right.
So
Yeah.
we'll see how that plays out.
That's a good call out. I could see that happening as well. So you giving it to no lineup or
This week, I like what Sody Pantloads is doing. It's just hard right now because of momentum, and momentum can come to a dead stop in fantasy football. We all know this, but no lineup. It's just the time of year that you don't want to see no lineup. Like, they had their 3 losses, now they're blowing up, and sometimes you can get them towards the end of the year. But this is a tough time of year to play no lineup. I don't understand why the pattern is the way it is, but it seems pretty consistent. So.
Yeah, so I'm going. I'll personally, it's tough not to go against no lineup, so I got to go with no lineup in my mind.
Yeah, we'll see. You had it right on the head. This is the marquee matchup of the week.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
This will be a lot of fun for everybody to watch for sure.
And I also love watching Dak Prescott, the guy I cut, who is now up to the fourth ranked quarterback.
Yeah.
What a move! What a move!
Yeah, and that Washington defense. I mean, they're good up front, but they sure look like they can be had.
Oh yeah,
there's some struggles going on that were not really anticipated in Washington.
That could be a shootout. Honestly,
yeah,
I could see a lot of points.
That'll be quite a good game.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no lineup will get the benefit of that in Pickens. So, all right, that's
it.
All of Week 7's preview. All right, that's unreal. Well, when you look at fantasy football, and we talked about how weird the landscape is right now with unpredictable players, which happens every year. You know, there's a Rico Dowdle situation every year. Someone takes advantage of an opportunity. But who are? Give me some names of players that you think, hey, these are the guys that you want to start this week.
So there's no doubt in my mind, Bijan Robinson is that guy for sure.
Is he in your mind? Is he the top player in fantasy football right now?
I think he's pretty damn close. If he's not,
I agree.
I don't know, who else is right there at his position, providing that kind of differential. I guess for sure. And another, because you kind of had posed this to me, and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, who else? And I'll say JSN on my team is another guy that I would call
must start.
Is a must start. Right? There's no one he's facing. He's number 2 ranked now.
Yep.
And no matter who he's up against, I'm starting him.
Yep. They are slinging it around in Seattle, and he is the focus.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, when we're let's go do a redraft, and you've got all these receivers coming off the board, and you've got Jackson Smith-Njigba now pulling in at number 2.
Yeah.
And looks like he's got all the momentum in the world.
Yeah. So, and Bijan's 3, but I think by the end of the year, to me, he'll be number 1 ranked.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, no, Jonathan Taylor. There's another guy.
Jonathan Taylor. Yeah.
But anyway, Bijan's my guy. I just feel
Bijan's got I think more of a well-rounded.
Right.
Yeah. He's going to get you points in the passing game.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor is just they're feeding him carries, and he's taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. He's number 1, so he's a point machine. But like I said, I think Bijan, I agree with you, is more dynamic.
Yep. And Jonathan Taylor gets a bunch of points because, and I can't believe I'm saying this, because sometimes Indianapolis is protecting a lead.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Led by Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is having an amazing year.
I will say I love seeing Daniel Jones having success, because I really believe the Giants did wrong by him his entire career. So good for him. I'm checking Indianapolis results now
because of him,
because I'm looking to see how he did.
So do I, actually, because I pull for the guy. He's like, and you see this. We've seen this a lot lately. You get a quarterback in a bad system or a bad coaching environment, whatever. Look at Baker Mayfield now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy looks like an MVP with the Buccaneers. He's amazing.
Yeah, and the same situation with we talked about Seattle, Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Sam Darnold.
He's all of a sudden rekindled because
right.
you get some coaches that will play to a player's strength rather than force a player into their system. And
100%.
great things can happen.
Yeah. So like you said, that's nice to see that.
All right. So that's 2 must starts. Give me a player who people would be thinking maybe about starting, who they shouldn't. Who's a not start this week?
Oh man, I was really thinking about this one hard because there's a couple of people that I hate picking on AJ Brown a lot, and he had a good. Maybe he's waking up. I don't know. So that was one candidate that I was kind of thinking about as well.
Yeah.
And then let me go here. Another one I think, and CeeDee's not close to being back yet, but I wonder George Pickens' value, what it's going to be like going forward when CeeDee Lamb comes back.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you got to start him. So I kind of was like, until CeeDee comes back, I guess you got to start him, right?
Yeah.
There's no getting around that, right?
Yeah, he's the one. He's the one in an offense where the quarterbacks seems to be hot again. So
yeah. So roundabout way of me getting to, I hate going against it, but AJ Brown's the guy I keep coming back to because I just can't trust him.
Can't trust him.
So that's my guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be wrong this week. He might have a huge week.
Oh, we'll see. It's a question mark on a lot of people's minds.
Because I was looking at a guy that's good,
Sure.
not a mid-tier guy where you can make that argument. So I know that's who I came to.
All right.
What do you got?
All right. Well, yeah, I don't know. For me, I can't say that. We talked about it. Bijan Robinson is definitely the number one. It's in my mind fantasy football player right now. When you look at players that you're absolutely going to start, you're going to start him. I think someone that's creeping up into that conversation right now, and I'll use 2 players. They're both receivers who had shaky starts and are now looking like lineup locks. You've got Drake London in Atlanta, and you've got Chris Olave down in New Orleans.
100%.
And at the beginning of the season, I would have written Chris Olave off just because that offense looked so bad. I didn't think he could get the ball. But both of those players, London and Olave, are looking like players that you absolutely plug in and you lock. As for someone that I would not start, AJ Brown is certainly someone in that conversation. I'm looking more on the Buffalo side of the ball, a player that they were really relying on, who found his way into a lot of lineups, was Khalil Shakir. He's definitely mid-tier in what we've seen in the last couple of weeks. I don't know. I think the owners of that player are glad that he's on the bye because they don't have to make these decisions. You're going to hope that both of the teams that are on the bye this week, who are touted as Super Bowl contenders and who are having tough time right now, Baltimore and Buffalo, figure it out, and that will benefit a player like Khalil Shakir. But until I see something straightened out in Buffalo, I don't think I can put him in the lineup. And this is someone whose ADP was probably 4th round. Starting that guy.
Where are you at with Keenan Allen? There's another name.
Keenan Allen is a roller coaster, but I wouldn't sit him.
You would not sit him.
No, I think that the Chargers they had a stumble, but they're still working. And Herbert looks really good, so I'm gonna keep Keenan Allen in the lineup for now. Let's cheat a little bit. Let's look at of players who are likely available.
Oof.
Which is right. Who do you pick? Who is if your team is struggling, you should go get this guy this week.
I mean, I was looking at it. I mean, I've never seen such slim pickings in my life.
It's bad.
I mean, these are scraps. These are
bad.
It's incredible. There's something you can say, okay, I can see maybe this guy doing something. I think at running backs, if you pick up somebody, you're speculating, to your point, like Jerome Ford gets traded, or Samaje Perine gets traded, or Chase Brown. I don't know. There's it's horrible. It's so bad. Receivers, I guess, is the one area. If you're now believing Caleb Williams is finally putting it together, you might look at the Moon Man maybe
Okay.
and say, he's intriguing. He's had some good. He had a really good year. Then he had off. Last year was a pretty decent year. So there's Judy too, Jerry Judy. Again, though, you don't love the quarterback situation there,
like that,
right?
yeah.
So that makes that one a little tricky.
That one's hard.
And then, I mean, you want a really good laugh? Go look at tight ends.
Well, I'll tell you, it's in our league, especially because I think one of our owners still has like 3 tight ends in its roster. It's tough, but in fantasy in general, if you're not looking to pick up Cade Otton, who is rostered in our league, but he is available in, I believe,
so many other ways.
82% of fantasy leagues, because you've got Egbuka, Evans, and Godwin
all out.
All not playing this week.
I know.
Of course, Rashad is rostered in like 90% of leagues because people are smart. But Cade Otton, unless you think that Baker is going to be looking hard for Sterling Shepard this week.
Yeah.
Cade Otton is double digits the last 2 weeks, and he's still available in 82% of leagues. So if you're watching this and you need a tight end in your league and he's available in your league, you should be putting in a waiver claim for Cade Otton right now.
Yeah, and I think the one other I saw is I think Soren had Zach Ertz, right? They let him go.
Yeah, well,
I mean, against the Cowboys,
he looked
that's
okay.
not a bad guy.
I think he got cut after a couple of bad weeks, but he could have some really good games in the second half,
especially again against the Cowboys this week. So those are the two. So think of all the players that are out there. I could come up with 3 people that I thought.
Right.
It's like the most insane thing.
Right. Yeah. I don't know how leagues with like 12 team leagues. Who would be out there?
I'm in a 12 league. I don't even look.
It's no point.
There's no point.
It's trades only.
So yeah, I mean, it's like I've never seen a year like it.
Yeah. There are, like we talk about, scraps. There are barely scraps out there.
There's always free agent every year. There's somebody you get that can make a difference for 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I mean, this is just it's horrible.
And there was Rico Dowdle that was available, and it's just he couldn't crack the starting lineup for I think Huey this week.
Yeah, Huey.
So, Huey didn't need him, but for every one of those, there's 100.
I know, and believe me, I've tried a lot of them. So I just cannot find the right combination at running back.
Yeah, running back is hard.
I am the opposite of Huey.
Running backs and tight ends, I think you are really suffering this year. It's if you didn't draft really well.
Yeah,
it's not great.
I mean, I lucked out. I mean, I picked up Ferguson late, and he's been phenomenal, especially with Bowers. But he's no Brock Bowers, and that's what hurts. Like
that's
not having that. But everybody, like I said last week, everybody's got an Achilles heel.
100%. So we are finishing up episode 6. We've got a lot of consequential games, so it's going to be really fun watching BARFF. Let me just do a final check of the chat. Sorry for the choppy start. I don't think I'll be scheduling things again, because if you don't make that schedule, YouTube definitely defies you and doesn't really work with you that great. So we'll just we'll play it by ear. Thanks for coming all the way down.
Yeah, no, it's great.
A lot of, I tell you, we got to find some way to like sell merch or something. Just like we got to at least buy you a set of tires, because that's you got to get compensated somehow. All right, anything fine for the good of the order before we sign off?
No, I think this is I sound like a broken record. Every week seems like a big week, but once you get that towards the middle of the season,
this is it. This is
week 6, 7, 8.
We're making the turn.
Yeah,
making the turn.
Exactly. Right, you're making that turn home. So
time to start putting that eye on the
playoffs. No, I think there might be some tears this week.
There will definitely be tears.
Yep.
I'm just glad I picked up some wins early, because I see
bad
things
right?
ahead for
you see it exactly.
Not great.
And injuries just keep piling up. Every week.
The NFL.
You're losing it. Yeah, it's the NFL exactly.
Yeah. All right, I'll say go Giants. Let's go Scattaboo. Even though I should have drafted him. I should have drafted him.
I know. I just.
But in addition to the Giants, we got a great set of games ahead. So good luck to all.
Yeah, good luck, everyone.
All right, that's our show.